Hello, IGN. My name is Jose Otero, and I'm joined by Sam Claiborne.
Jose, this is one of my favorite games.
This is easily one of my favorite remakes of all time. So before we go into Metroid Zero Mission, just a little bit of context. This is part of our 125 Nintendo Let's Plays. Nintendo turns 125 years old as a company this year. They were founded in 1889. And
That's a long time ago.
This is a super long time ago. Wall Street Journal also founded in 1889.
This makes this a very recent game for them.
Yeah, this game came out in 2004 for the Game Boy Advance, and it's part of our Let's Play series. You know, we're trying to highlight some of the best games we've ever made. And the original Metroid, while special, was remade in 2004 by the team that made it, Nintendo R&D 1.
So it's a remake, but it also solves a lot of problems set forth in Metroid. A lot of stuff about like where am I supposed to go, and which makes Metroid great are a little bit the hard edges are rounded a little bit in this. Also, story segments are added, and then a big part at the end where you're in your Zero suit and exploring the story that happens after Metroid, which I think is the coolest thing. It's like 25% more game. Yeah,
this was a cool marriage of both Super Metroid, Metroid Fusion in a lot of ways. Super Metroid in that it was the first time that when you turned Samus, you saw two different sprites that they'd have, so they were consistent with the way that the character was moving. But then Metroid Fusion in that a lot of the abilities like grabbing or there's a few others. Just sort of the elegance of like pointing the direction, the player in a direction.
Shine smarking, speed runs, wall jumps. The move set from Super Metroid was applied to this, and just generally, I think it's the best looking Metroid besides Prime. I really like the color palettes in it. It's like super vibrant and primary colors a lot, whereas Fusion, which is its kind of sister game from the same era, is very pastel. And it's good. It looks good blown up, but on the original screen on Game Boy, it was hard to see both these games. But this game just stood out to me.
Oh yeah,
as just
absolutely.
A really pretty, just perfect Metroid 2D experience. I mean, I actually prefer this to Super Metroid. I know that's sacrilegious to some people, but I've also heard people that believe the same thing.
Yeah, so they built in a lot of improvements. Like right here, if you had not gotten the Morph Ball, you would not be able to pass through here or see some of this stuff. So they put in little things to tell you, okay, well, you can't go this way yet. You don't fit here. You would have to go back and then eventually find the Morph Ball if
Why
you didn't know
can't Metroid crawl?
That's a thing, right? Yeah. But this is another big inclusion, which are these Chozo statues. Now,
there are Chozo statues in Metroid, but it's kind of been retconned to be the Chozo people, and including, this is Prime music playing right now?
Well, yeah, and that was what blew me away, is that this was sort of them, this was a Japanese-made game, but sort of acknowledging the work of a Western studio, which, so if you're unfamiliar, this sort of pointing you in the right direction started in Fusion, but it was a lot more chatty, which is why some people like to, throw that game under the bus a little. I feel it's unfair. So Metroid Zero Mission does the same trick, but it does it by silently pointing you that way and just playing Chozo music instead. But there are a couple of other Prime influences, just real quick for you. There's actually like Morph Ball puzzles, which weren't a thing to my knowledge in the Metroid games until the Prime series.
And the story in Prime is about Samus's relationship with the Chozo, which is an old bird-like species that that's kind of extinct and gone, that raised her, and you kind of find out that story in this game. That she was raised by these Chozo, and there's pictures of her as a little girl, and these hieroglyphs and stuff. It's so cool.
Yeah, another thing to point out here, just in terms of really smart design, I mean, you see here that you cannot shoot far enough, so you have to then figure out, okay, well, clearly I'm not supposed to go here yet, and that's kind of what makes Metroid work. I feel like we do live in a period, though, where a lot of people are asking for a new Metroid game, but I don't think a lot of people realize just how many, independent developers are actually recreating these games. So it kind of makes me wonder, and one day we should definitely talk about this, where Metroid needs to go next, because it can't just be what it was. I feel like there has to be something different and unique about it.
So one thing I love that just makes this one of the most hardcore Nintendo games ever is that there's ways to play this game that give you alternate endings that are completely insane, like beating it with less than 5% of your equipment that you're supposed to get. Like, just you don't get the equipment. and beating it in like under 2 hours. There's all these different requirements that are built in that you get a different shot of Samus in the end.
Yep.
And I played through all of those. Like that was one of my favorite things about this game. Like 100%ing it in a short period of time.
Oh yeah.
All that stuff.
So yeah, you'll see here now we have the long beam. Also, these Chuzzle statues were turned into recharge stations. You know, all of this in an effort to kind of make it a little easier for players, I feel, to kind of find their way around. Actually, let's see if we can shoot something down here. Nope, that's not a secret. Yeah, the secrets are so well placed, and it's always about, it's just very ability driven, which is why I stayed on the, you know, sort of the upgrade screen a little longer than, you know, maybe I should have. It's just to kind of remind people, like, that's what makes these Metroid games special. And it's something that, you know, Castlevania kind of adopted over time, but, and both series have done really well in different respects. And this is by far one of the best video game remakes of any generation, I feel. And some people will probably push back on that and say, oh, well, this is sprite-based. So what?
This is one of my 5 favorite games ever. Like, I think this game is so good. And I'm just playing it right now. I just want to go. I'm absolutely going to replay it again based on that. I like, do you remember the little bugs in this game, the little purple bugs? I think those are really
yes,
cute.
I remember those, yeah.
So they're able to use the GBA graphics to do amazing things.
Yep.
And, a lot of stuff on screen at once. This is cool. Like it's Kraid and Ridley, right?
Yes, it is, and more importantly, like again, this is another just sort of nod from the developers, kind of pushing you to see, okay, to uncover some of this mystery and show you, okay, well, how do you get these doors open? Eventually, you'll stumble on that answer. Now, you noticed earlier, I tried to go to the right. The door was gray and it would not let me through. I think you can wait that door out, but if not, I was supposed to go that way to see these things, and I still have to get into a sort of a weird fight here in a second. There he is. To get out, and hopefully I don't die on camera, because that would be bad.
It'll be fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It's still early on. But now the door, I'm able to open it, and I can continue. And so there are a lot of these just really well placed.
This.
They do. And, you know, one of the criticisms against this game, though, this remake specific, was, oh, well, you could be in like 3 hours. Yeah, but it was a great 3 hours. It was a really good experience, and it was something that...
You can't 100% it in that, though.
No, you definitely cannot unless you know really well.
But yeah, but the 100%ing is really good in these games. Like, it's totally, I mean, you play through the game story-wise, and that's great, but it's really about finding every single secret, and just like, you know, you compare your map to one that's in a guide online. We have a great one on IGN, and you just like want to see like, how did this map get filled out? I love that.
Yeah, so now we know where to go because we could not shoot this out. I even love that the blocks don't regenerate, so it's a reminder, oh wait, now I can do this. Yeah, so many cool things about this game. If you haven't seen a speed run of it, you definitely should. Any Metroid speed run is really special.
This one's a good speed run.
This one's a really good one, yep. And now
because the game is made so well to encourage that. Like, I just respect that so much. Oh, there's the little guys.
Yeah, there he is. Ah, he's leaving. Where's he going?
Those are like the animals that show you what to do. A lot of times they like fall through little passages and show you where to go.
So nice. All right, cool. Well, there you have it, folks. Metroid Zero Mission. This is currently available in Japan on the Wii U Virtual Console, so it's probably coming to the States. So if you haven't played it or want to pick it up again, there's definitely hope on the horizon.
Yeah, because the original card is very expensive.
Yeah, it can be difficult to find for sure.
But demand is high for one of Nintendo's 125 best games.
Yep.
And that makes sense. That's good. That's a good thing.
It is a good problem to have. Well, thanks for watching, and for more Nintendo coverage, Metroid, and a lot of Let's Plays, keep it right here at IGN.